What is going on, you guys? Thank you for tuning in to tonight's show. We have two awesome, amazing friends of mine. They helped produce three of the most amazing documentaries I've ever seen in the paranormal field. House Between Two, and The Haunting Lodge. Oh, and Sleepless Unrest. We cannot forget that one. That one is takes place at a conjuring house. It's if you haven't seen these already, y'all need to check them out. You can check them out on Tubi. Awesome. So without further ado, let's bring on Kendall and Vera Welpton.
Oh.
What's going on?
How are you?
Sydney, great to see you again.
Good to see you too. How have y'all been?
We're good.
Busy.
Yeah, just been busy. Yeah. How about
Yeah.
you?
Good. I've it's been one heck of a year for me. From a tumor removal to
Yes.
yeah, that was crazy. It's the big time crazy. Didn't even know he was up there, but Timmy's no longer there. He's gone.
You're doing great. You look fantastic.
Thanks.
Really good.
Yeah, I got a part of an awesome new team, Texas Wraith Hunters, and Mr. Anthony Sabelos asked me to join, so I'm part of his team. I'm in the process of forming another all-women's team, so that's awesome. That's going to be going pretty soon. So, and then starting my podcast, so that's pretty cool as well.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's not anything as impressive as you guys. I mean, y'all guys have some crazy, wicked stuff going on.
I don't think you're given credit.
Yeah.
We see you all as you're in the trenches. You're out in the trenches every weekend. I mean, the amount of time, dedication, money, it's all out of your own pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that y'all do. Seriously, we love paranormal investigators all over the world. We think like that's pure dedication and passion.
Yeah.
For a field.
We're excited about, our end of things over here. We get to investigate and make movies about it. And, I feel like we keep every movie, we kind of advance more and more on like knowledge and experience.
Because of that, we don't get a chance to go out there almost like to many locations because we research so in depth, we spend so much time in one location.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're really, I guess, once we sign on with a location, we're on for years. It's not just like, just one done. Yeah.
But I love it because, other paranormal groups are out there and sometimes they find a new location or they find something really that, they get some really strange new evidence and then they hit us up and they're like, hey, you have to check this out. Yeah. And then that's usually when we come in and start doing like in-depth
coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and y'all guys bring some really, really, really cool stuff. I've known you guys for years now, and seeing you guys grow from the very first movie, which was The House in Between, up into the Haunting Lodge. Like, you could tell how much y'all have grown into the paranormal field. And y'all are paranormal investigators to me now. Like, y'all guys know y'all guys actually investigate, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I guess behind the scenes we've been always investigating for a long time. And, the Haunting Lodge.
Not officially, I guess. You can say.
Yeah, that was kind of like, it's funny too, because like the Haunting Lodge we did before we went to do the Conjuring Home and the Sleepless Unrest. So this one we've been doing for a while. Like the movie's kind of, we finished the Conjuring House before and put that out before the Haunting Lodge. This case, because of the evidence and what we captured and everything, and wrapping our heads around it, we really wanted to study it and kind of. It took us years to do it because of what we captured there, and just kind of grasping our head around what was going on there. For Dan, our homeowner there, for the lodge owner, it was just it was a wild ride, as you could.
You're talking
see
about the last.
The Haunting Lodge. Yeah. So we chose to kind of put that out after the Conjuring movie. So
that was some crazy stuff. I mean, we'll get into that. I have some theories behind that. Yeah. Crazy. So have y'all ever done anything like out of your comfort zone during like investigating and producing these videos? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He puts
I mean,
me through hell.
yeah,
He makes me do all kinds of stuff that
yeah.
are totally out of my comfort zone.
I get her up to speed. She's up to speed.
Oh,
now.
whatever. Up
You're
to speed. Why ever?
I mean,
You mean because I actually like to think things through, and you're just like to run to it, and he's very impulsive, and I'm the logical. I like to think. I think we balance each other out.
We do.
That's why we get stuff done. But I'm definitely more like, let me think about this. Let me get my senses. He puts me in the pitch black darkness. And he just takes off running, and I'm like, dude, like, look around you for like, let you guys adjusted to the dark. Give me 5 minutes, He's like, no, Mom, gone. And but the simple fact that we decided to start sleeping overnight, that is out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, that was way out of our comfort zone.
He sleeps through everything. Once you fall asleep, you're pretty much out. But me, because I'm a little more sensitive, more in tune, more like just more
scared.
just because I'm a woman, simple like that, man. Just go to sleep. Just me being more alert to my surroundings. Like it's been hard. I mean, the hunting lodge definitely like.
And when we stay overnight, it's a whole different game than what you're kind of used to on an investigation.
Well, the thing is like we're also working there.
Yeah.
It's like going to work and then going to sleep at work after experiencing crazy things. Like, how is that even?
You're working while you're sleeping.
Like, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, but yeah, like the haunting lodge, we would sleep in the clearing house. We sleep with GoPros like on our chests or like right next to us in case if something happened, you got it on like a trigger. To
which is also out of my comfort zone. I never thought that I'd be so comfortable being in pajamas, or never in a million years ever thought that
I think that's one of the hard things. Yeah, because I mean, when you watch the movie, it is like there's no makeup, there's like no prep time. Like there was one thing in the haunting lodge where Vera got to like do her makeup and stuff before we went and got Jill the psychic. And like she was just so happy to be able to like put on makeup. I mean, when we go and do these things, it is like, I mean, that's the last thing you're thinking about is like, looking good for kids and stuff, which is totally different.
You also have your guard up because you're in a new place, and you have to also be aware of, normal dangers.
Yeah.
What's around you. You're out in the woods, like one animal can be like jumping up on you all of a sudden. You have to be aware of.
Plus, you're also worried. You're like, for us, like we go and stay at these places. We don't necessarily know the people so well, and there's like or break-ins or anything that has to do with like people. Like you're just on guard in general.
You have to be careful. So that was a long answer to your question.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I love the in-depth answered questions. It helps me understand what's going on with you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, this Facebook user agrees with me. The haunting lodge was nuts. And then me and Joanne have been talking about the ending of the haunting lodge for like weeks since it came out. And then Anthony took your idea. I don't know what idea, but he's going to do something to me. So that's going to be fun. Probably leave me in the darkness because he tends to do that.
You're on camera and you're okay.
Right.
That's a good way to, be monitored.
I'm finally over it.
I mean, I saw the transformation. Like we stayed at the lodge, and when we first went there, I mean, she had her crazy experience there.
But like, come on, I guess this part that comes with like you're there with your man, I'm there with my husband. Like I have certain expectations of like you're gonna protect me.
Mm-hmm. Always, yeah.
You're gonna like.
I'm actually that confident that like I've been in a lot of locations, and like usually you just got to worry about like the human aspect, people breaking in, like I was saying before, and whatnot. And if you have the location pretty secure, the paranormal is startling, but like I've never seen anything that's like gonna hurt you or anything. So I feel pretty confident that
It has happened.
she'll be okay. But there's always this stuff. There's an investigator. You just never know what to expect. So you gotta always be on guard. But
I don't know who Facebook user is, but they said they know you too. So hi, Facebook user.
Hey.
Hello. So in the house in between, I know Brad Cooney, I know John Buller, I know the whole cast. They're amazing people.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it was pretty fun working with them, right? And you'll still work with them and keep contact.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We talk like every week. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. House is amazing. She's still dealing with the effects of the house. I think she's handling the situation there very well. And it's awesome to see her transformation on that whole situation where she's kind of empowered now, and it's just beautiful. And the town is accepting of her story now, and it's just that right there is just it's worth every second of blood, sweat, and tears put into those films.
So have y'all ever stayed in that house by yourself, just y'all two, like y'all did at the lodge?
Yeah, that's actually the first place that I had done overnight. Let's see, I've done them in the past, working in TV and stuff.
And you lived in haunted homes.
And I lived in haunted houses, so I was fine with it. But it was interesting. Yeah, there was some stuff that happened that night. The film really kind of present itself to have that segment on it, but it was kind of neat. Yeah, I kind of filmed it how we actually filmed the haunted lodge and stuff. So
he fell asleep and he was out, and I actually reviewed a lot of the footage in the audio, and I mean you hear some questionable things that I was like, you're brave for staying there yourself. But it didn't. We never talked about it.
Actually, I think this is the first time we actually publicly kind of talked about it.
Said it because it just kind of happened.
Yeah. We did a lot of filming there. Like there was, especially for part one, we really didn't know what the film was. It's a documentary, so you can film everything, and you don't know, how the style is and the format. So Steve and I, we did a lot of, debunking. We did a lot of trying to figure out what, was at the house, inside and out. So there's a lot of that stuff that was off camera
Let's add, we stayed there pretty much till sunrise.
That's true too.
All night. So we stayed there all night.
We would do
sleep.
Full. I mean, what we were doing, I can't even remember. We were doing 16-hour days or something. It was crazy. I mean, we're working around the clock. So yeah, we would stay till sunrise too. You're right.
And then we'd just go.
Yeah, we would go
to the hotel, sleep, and come back and do it over again.
Do it all over again.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's one thing that y'all would remember separately? Like what's one memory that will never leave your mind about the house in between?
Well, mine's easy. It was captured on camera, but there's a couple. But yeah, the ball rolling down the stairs. I mean, it was awesome. I heard all the stories about it. It was like you see the footage, you hear the stories, you see everything about this ball that moves down the stairs. I mean, they had video clips of it. Everybody was, so focused on that one particular event. There was other stuff like the chandelier and everything, but that was like physical movement that they had captured, and it was really compelling evidence. So when I actually saw it happen, and I know that I was the only one in the house, and there was no rumbles, or there was as soon as I knew that there was nothing that could have triggered the ball to fall down the stairs. I mean, you saw me, I was skipping. The reason why I was skipping was because I was so happy that it had happened, and that I knew we captured it because there was a camera.
Some people don't understand because, usually they expect you to be scared or run. But when you've been doing this for so long, and that it's actually really rare to capture a real paranormal event. So when it happens, it's just like,
especially when it's the homeowner's claim,
Well, yeah, when it's a claim, and you were able to also capture it.
Yeah,
you knew.
Yeah,
you knew that.
I knew. Yeah, we had 3 cameras on it, so it was like
it's a moment of celebration.
Yeah, it was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. So, Yeah, that was one. Another, we don't, part two.
Wait,
I want to. Sorry.
I didn't go.
Yeah.
I
It's like my
wasn't
turn.
there for. I was back home with the babies, and I produced from back home, and I was doing all the back work. I didn't get to go the first time.
Yeah.
But the things I remember that I really loved is like the synchronicities of how things were just unfolding on its own. And I remember just me being me, telling Kendall, it's like, this film wants to be done. Like, it wants to be made because things are just working out.
It did, yeah.
So good. I remember last moment, I told Kendall, like, they're talking about something in the land, perhaps in land, and we were thinking, can we just get a search dog? And it was just last minute. And
just phone in a search dog, no problem.
How are we just gonna get one in the middle of production? And I just telling people, I finally find one.
Like, where was he at?
There were 3 hours
or something.
No.
Where was he? Yeah, they were far. Like, they had to drive hours.
It was about.
They literally jumped in their car and came.
I talked to them at 9 at night.
Yeah, it was late.
And around dinner time at night, and then the next morning, they're like, no worries. They got in the car and drove 3 hours, and then they showed up at the house and they did the whole thing. That was
like, that's what she's talking about, like synchronicities. That's like a really big one, because I don't know if you've ever set up anything like big like that, and just
we only had
it takes weeks to do that. You got to like do all this back and forth, and this and that, and like set things up, and run it through channels and this.
They were
and that.
fantastic.
And they literally just jumped in the car and came out to help us out. And
that's awesome.
Alice, really, I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the Facebook user
is that Brad Cooney?
Yeah.
What's up, Brad?
Hi, Brad. You are still showing up as Facebook user. I don't know why.
Check out Brad's podcast. It's like hitting all these awesome ratings in international Brad Cooney's podcast. Everyone, listen to the Cooney podcast.
Yes, listen to the Cooney podcast. Is that what you call it?
I don't. Yeah.
I love that. Love that.
But then part two, you were
podcast.
He does, yeah. Part two, really cool moment. We didn't use it, but this is really funny. We're out in the backyard, and it's like really like intense and quiet, and like the investigators are like asking for, like there was like a whistle out there, and there was like some noises, and they're asking to do it again, and all of a sudden through the trees you see this bright light, and it's like we had already been to the Conjuring house. We've been to the haunting lodge, and like it just comes out of the trees, and then we look, and it's like this really cool government aircraft that was like amazing. It was awesome. It was a stealth bomber. It was like a stealth bomber.
That is
and it was
so cool.
Well, we freaked out because this light it's like this spotlight just shining on us, and we were like, oh, like we were just like freaking
we're like,
out.
oh my god, we're cat. Oh,
and then you hear the little
yeah,
really low, and we're so low, and it was just so slow.
It was so slow.
We're just like,
wow.
And it went.
You filmed it.
I did film it. I got it.
A wide angle. It looks really tiny.
It was tiny. Yeah, you could see under the
light, the little lights.
The craft.
Like,
it was so cool.
Black.
Yeah. They had a stealth bomber go over. It was really neat looking. During the investigation, which I thought was cool.
No, no. We were with Sam and Jill.
That's right.
And Alex.
That's right. Yeah, Sam, Jill, and Alex. That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of maze.
Yeah. I mean, everything we do there is like, pretty intense. Like digging. That was like, that's over the course of many days, and like every day you're just kind of trying to be respectful, in case you do find a body.
I was glad that
you're worried about, like, there's so many things to worry about. It's not just like, oh, let's dig a hole. It's fine, and it's just, you're worried about like digging up artifacts and breaking them. And like, there's a lot goes into some of the things. So there's like the only way I can say is like, there's an intense amount of focus and energy when you go there to document.
Ooh.
Oh, Facebook user, who are you?
File some new evidence since we're that part. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Brad's dropping hints here.
Oh, cool.
Kendall, Vera, the best.
Hey, John.
Hi, John.
Awesome. Great to see you,
Hey,
John.
John. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Showing us Facebook users.
Yeah, we. Are you back?
I don't know why they're showing up as Facebook users.
Yeah, we no, it's been a very fun and interesting, and we've learned a lot as we've done this, especially in part 2. We got a chance to really, doing part 2 was awesome because we kind of held some stuff back from part 1, and then there was so many things we wanted to do in a part 2. And I know when we had meetings with Steven early on, like, let's do this, let's do that, like, let's fly an airplane over and scan this, and like we had like it was like
the amount of ideas.
It was like pretty awesome to see how excited like the energy was going into that part 2, and it was really neat to be able to go and like just kind of divide and conquer the things that we actually pulled off there, which is hard to do in like a short period of time. And you're dealing with like weather, and you're dealing with all these elements, and it just seemed like everything just.
But
ran
even
so
then, I got to go in part 2 because I was like, for sure, I'm going this time, and it was still as impressive. Everything, how things were unfolding. Wow. Like,
yeah. No, that house
and
definitely
the unexpected, like things that you hope for, to happen.
Yeah, it's
like.
Yeah, like the just. Even bringing in bringing in the investigators, it was
bringing new people and seeing their transformation, because in the beginning they're like guarded, like let's see, this is really like it's a challenge, and then they're like, whoa, like this is
I think everybody goes in there kind of like let's see, like all right, let's see. Like I remember I had that.
Everybody has a ton. Most of the people that we work with have a lot of experience, and they've seen it all.
Yeah,
they've seen it all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Steve and I had that when we first went in there, went around, and we're like, all right, let's figure this ball thing out. And like I've said this before, but like the documentary really had an open format. So it's like, well, if these investigators are pulling shenanigans, maybe the doc's about that. And like we went in there and we analyzed it. Some of it's on video, some of it isn't. We bought a magnet to see if the thing was, magnetized, the ball was magnetized. We were making, something behind the wall, under the stairs. We went through. I mean, we really did everything.
To debunk it, to try to be just make sure this is actually legit.
Yeah. And when we could, and we're like, dang. And then when it moved on, on Steve and I, and when we're at the house, it was just like.
But I have to say, one of my favorite parts is actually getting a geologist to show up at the house, because during the first time, that's one of the things that didn't work out. I kept calling people and calling, and they were all about it in the beginning. But as soon as I said the word paranormal, they'll be like, "Oh, sorry, I can't do nothing." Sometimes they would even hang up on me, and I'll be like, oh, "Why? Like, I just need your expertise. That you don't have to tell me what you believe, what you don't believe. Just as an expert in your field." And nobody wanted to do it until part 2. Somebody finally agreed to do it, and it was Caroline. And it was amazing because she went there completely just, hey, let me just help this woman, Alice, let me bring her peace, because a lot of the things she's experiences are actually natural phenomena. And she went there
to go do that. Actually, one of the things that sold her on all of us was she had debunked a situation where people were hearing like these weird, like humming, yelling sounds.
A previous case.
And she had figured out that they had like changed the road or something, and there was more traffic on this one bridge, and it was vibrating, and it was said in the way it was sending the vibration waves and hitting the house sounded like it was like these.
Because the house was also an angled roof.
It was an angled roof. That was a very particular shaped house. So it was
getting the vibration was getting absorbed through the beam and the house, and it was creating this humming sound. And the couple thought this is paranormal.
They thought it was paranormal, and she debunked it and was able to figure it out.
And then
and we're like, that's the girl, that's the person we need on this case for sure.
That's so cool.
They're thinking about the stuff that we're not, and she would, however she, does her research. I'm sure she used many frequency.
And I work really close to her. I was with her
you helped her a lot. Yeah.
So I don't want to say it because someone hasn't seen the film, but what happened, just to see her from like day one to the last day was mind blowing for me, because I mean, it's always, what you experience, on your own, but when you see someone who's never experienced that experience, I mean, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I was telling one of my friends, because they just opened a coffee shop here in San Marcos, and it's like a gothic type, like crazy paranormal, a place for me basically. And I went in there and I was talking to this guy who reads tarot cards out of there, and we were just talking about random stuff one day, and I was like, oh, you need to check out these movies. Like, they're not even movies, they're documentaries. Like, they're amazing. And I like told him about The House Between, The House Between Two, The Hunt. I told him about all of them. And he went home, he watched them. The next day I went over and he was like, oh my God, like that was the most coolest documentary I've ever seen. He was just seeing these people's emotions, like seeing their surprise, seeing their shock. And then what got him blown away was when y'all took two different psychics, one who knew about the place and one who absolutely knew nothing about it.
I know,
and he was blown away. Like, he was like, you could feel that other psychics, like you could just, he's like, I can't explain it. Like, it was amazing.
That was really emotional, actually, for everyone there.
Yeah.
Just to see him also going through the process, from day one to the end, and then finding out, even for himself, is getting reassured, like that he was actually, because I'm sure a lot of people sometimes go on, like they don't want to be judged, or they don't want to be wrong. And,
a lot of pressure on people going into that.
They did.
I mean, they have like world-renowned investigator Steve, and like, all of us, like we're on there, and it's like, all right, here we go, let's go. So it's got to be a lot of pressure for people coming in, but quickly they realize how awesome Steve is and to work with, and that we're not judgmental by any means. I think that's the hardest thing. You think you're going to be a judge.
I'm
like
glad
saying,
your friend noticed that. I mean, that was a moment that was very emotional for everybody being there, just seeing that process as well. For
that came across on camera. It was hard. That was actually really hard because we didn't want them to meet each other before they came. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on to make that happen behind camera, so it just organically happens when they're on camera.
Also, I was really happy that they trusted us.
True, yeah.
Right.
It could, if who knows? You just never know if they just don't vibe, or like maybe like I just kind of two people that are specialized in one area and have two totally different.
But we were open. We
and they were too, and that's why it worked so well.
It could be something different. They one second can say one thing, the other one the other. Maybe the two correlate. Maybe we didn't have any expectations, but the way it turned out was like.
But it was cool too, because I don't know if you picked up on it, but Sam actually realized, like, he had like a moment of like, damn, I did get it, like I did like pick up on the same thing. Like, the second he kind of saw that, like, she was getting it, he was getting it, it was like a validation. And it's got to be tough for being a psychic, number one, because you're just you pick up on these things, but when you get a confirmation of validation, it's got to feel great, because here you are, like, in your own mind, like, you got to be kind of like, is this like the right information, and then you're under the pressure of
he wasn't insecure about what he was getting.
I'm not saying that.
No. He was secure of what he was perceiving. He just didn't know how much to say, and then because of the topic.
Right.
Well, that was the other thing. Yeah, we started hitting some real strong, heavy topics with
we call history and whatnot. We call that a medium awakening, because it's like you and someone else go into a location and one medium picks it up, and then you start feeling the exact same thing. So you tell them what you're feeling, and they're like, that's exactly what I got. So you're validating each other, and you're like, holy crap, like, I was right. Because it's hard because our visions aren't always 100% correct. You might be off by a couple of things, or you may not even be right at all. So I think what he experienced was like, holy crap, I was right. Like it's
and you
validation.
more often than you see psychics kind of working solo. And I just saw like it's actually really amazing to see two people, get the people working together.
Mm-hmm.
And it
was really cool.
It was a really
it was
cool
something
thing
that
to see unfold. And
I've never done or seen done, so I was excited that we were able to pull that off.
That was really cool. Really, really cool. So Sleepless in Rest, what was it like sleeping in that house? Like, what was the feeling, the initial feeling y'all got when y'all got there?
When it shows on camera. I was super excited. I mean, I was like, this is the real life Conjuring home. This is where like one of my favorite movies is like the Conjuring movies. It's like this is it right here. And meeting Corey and Jen, they're really cool people, and just like having an open stay. I mean, it was just like you don't get that kind of offer ever. So it was kind of
well, no, but now
it was really neat. And I remember like unloading the gear, and Corey, because there was a few investigations there, prior, nothing like really like no productions or anything. And Corey's like, dude, you got a lot of gear. And I was like, yeah, we're shooting a movie. I mean, we brought everything. That was like, we brought everything and more. I think we had like
the car
15 cameras or something, like running the full time. So, and like, it was a wild experience.
It was just him and I, like, it was just
managing the whole production.
And it was
wild. It was wild.
Extremely challenging.
Yeah. The first few nights were kind of mellow. Like, I remember sitting down with Corey first, and he's just telling us the stories and stuff. And then something happened, and he's like, oh, we should close it up for tonight.
Just like that.
We're like, what?
To film.
He goes, you don't understand.
This
house like starts to act up. And we're like, I'm going to listen to the homeowner. So we sat down and we just kind of went to bed,
I'm like, but this is what we're here for.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But then we kind of got it later. It was like,
they had a dance.
It started. Yeah. He had like a very kind of tip your hat to what, he would start to see the signs and be like,
I don't even like talking.
And then he'd be like,
I'd
be like, this is a haunted house. What do you expect? I'm like, dude, does that always happen? He's like,
he was already used to it.
Yeah, he was used to it. Yeah. It's wild. It's such a.
I was really nervous going in because I had been in Georgia already, in the location where we filmed the Haunting Show. I had already, I have had a really strong experience.
Yeah.
And then,
so the one that you saw in the Haunting Lodge.
Yeah, but then when I was like, when I was going back to the Conjuring house, I was definitely in a serious conversation with myself about
what she was doing,
career choices. Because I was like, what am I doing?
That's why you were so. I mean,
it was.
You were frightened because she had already had.
Like,
well, I mean, she. I mean, the Haunting Lodge. I mean, literally, her experience was like she got like
it went from
tormented through the night.
It went from experiencing disembodied voices, EVPs, little knocks, whispers, like bam, 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 like, all these like crazy physical interactions.
Oh my gosh.
That
we have so much footage,
but then
from the Conjuring house.
But it's like, well, you asked for it. It's like,
yeah.
That was the other thing. Yeah, like we really,
like,
I'd say we were young in our investigation style back then. I don't know if I do some of the same stuff I did before.
That well moment.
Getting in the well?
Yeah.
Yes. When you went down in the well, I was like, what is this man doing?
Yeah.
Like, was there a bottom to the well, or did it just keep going?
Yeah, there was water down there. You have to be careful you didn't go down all the way and go in the water. It wasn't deep, but I mean, there was sounds that had been there was sounds that had been heard down there. There was possible activity down there, and at the time it kind of felt right.
I don't know if anybody ever investigated underwater like that, because
That's true. Yeah, we put a EDI in the bag.
And the EDI, like it was, obviously like.
Yeah, I didn't even know if we didn't know if it worked, because like water.
And we did capture a sound, but at the end it didn't make the cut because it was kind of like.
Yeah. We'll probably put that out later.
We were so picky with all of our evidence.
We were
There's something I would change because we're so scared of like
putting
bad judgment.
Plus we kind of the way we edited it was like, well, this doesn't like it's like not particular to like the scene or whatever, and we would like just yank it.
It didn't make.
Yeah, it wouldn't make.
So we're thinking about maybe having a special edit.
Yeah, where we
of everything that didn't make.
Because I think back on like that film. Voice in the well, that was really. And then like, I didn't find it until later, but like you watch the film, you watch the movie, and there's a point where, like we all go outside, we hear like we're outside. I think it was after we heard the noises in the kitchen, and go outside looking around, and I like just pan back at the house. Like I literally just kind of tilt around and like look back at the house for a split second with my cell phone. And like above the house, you see like these orbs of light, like kind of doing a kind of a motion like this. And like, I didn't see it until like we watched it on Amazon or something. I was like, what the?
And then the owner, Corey Hansen, said that him and our investigator had witnessed that before.
Witnessed that, yeah. So like we unknowingly captured like lights above the house, which was interesting.
That's interesting.
And actually, we put the EMCCD out there because Corey Heinzen had said, there was some investigators who were smoke outside of the house prior to us coming, and he said that they saw like balls of light come from the trees and go towards the house and go into the house. So I was like, well, we can capture that better than the EMCCD camera. So that's why we're actually putting the camera out there. But then we started hearing noises from the trees. So we flipped it around and pointed it towards the trees. And that's when all hell broke loose out there.
That makes it difficult because, usually you focus on the claims and what, you want to capture evidence of the claim and the homeowners and all that. And then when something completely different happens that you weren't expecting, it's like, what do I do with it? Yeah. Like, how do I...
Yeah,
and good for us because we can ship.
There's definitely
we can do that for our docs.
I wish we had another run because I feel like there's more to the story.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll go back there again. There's a lot more to that, but
especially because like I know after y'all left, everyone that went had some kind of thing going on at their house afterwards, right?
That's the thing I didn't like.
So all of us, I mean, that was kind of weird, and I didn't like that so much. I don't know. I still don't know what that was. I
have some stories that I haven't told anyone.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that it's something definitely, we captured it here. So like something definitely was happening, but like, I'll be honest with you, I'm still having stuff happen. Not so much at my house, but like around us.
Wait, but we don't know if it's.
I don't know if it's from that. That's why I don't know if it's related to the house anymore.
But because we also have Georgia. We went to Georgia.
Yeah, we went to Georgia before that too. So
which one?
Yeah. So
which one's
Yeah.
Anyway, so crazy.
That is kind of terrifying to not know.
Have you had that happen to you, Sydney? Have you had that like?
Oh yeah, there's been times when I'll go investigating and I come home and nothing happens right away, but then like a day or two later, my cabinets will open and shut, and then like my lights will go on and off, or I'll hear voices, and I'm just like, oh great, here they go. But then like I'll start saging my house, and I'll start cleansing my house, and I'll start calling my paranormal friends. So, and then there's times when I just get used to it, and I'm just like, I knew this. I just should have known this was going to happen.
Yeah. Our editor even had like a possible experience, and he wasn't even connected to the house.
He started getting uncomfortable. Yeah.
It might be a mindset thing.
Idea. I don't even know.
It might be.
might be like consciousness, like you're thinking about.
I don't even like talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't even like.
The second we start talking about it, yeah, I don't like
let's
that.
stop.
Okay, let's stop. Don't talk about it no more.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I don't know. There's something to it. It's kind of scary, actually.
We'll go back to the flashing lights in the woods and stuff. I know at the end, going towards like in the hunting lodge, y'all had mentioned something about aliens or like alien type people or creatures.
Otherworldly.
Yeah, otherworldly things. So on this team, I've met this really great guy. His name's Greg. He's a star. He doesn't call himself this, but we call him a star seed. He has star family. He says he's connected to, the outer space and stuff. And then I started thinking about like the lights in Alice's house. And then I started thinking about the lights at the hunting lodge. And then I started thinking about, the Miami Mall sightings. And then we started talking about how there's a lot of starseed children and a lot of, with all the alien stuff coming up. Do you think that the paranormal and the alien sightings and the alien stuff go hand in hand, and that some of the stuff y'all are experiencing is outer world stuff?
Let's peel this all apart here. And
Okay.
let's really get into this, because I think this is the first time we're probably going to speak on this.
Yeah.
And it's a very good question. So let's look at, I always go back, let's look at the data. Okay, let's look at what we're capturing. Okay. We're capturing visible lights with no source to them at all. No electrical source. A ULA, unidentified light anomalous light that we don't have any idea how it's being powered on and off. So we're capturing that on multiple cameras. We're capturing it on GoPros, we're capturing it on EMC CD cameras, which are photon cameras, and we're capturing them on our Cinema Black Magic cameras. So we know how a camera malfunctions. So therefore, there's lights that are showing up on our cameras at multiple locations. Okay, so we got out of the way. So what are these lights? What is going on with this? That is what I think sent Vera and I down the rabbit hole and changed our whole mindset of investigating. This is a huge question for us, because these lights not only show up and they go out, but they're interacting with some of the things that we're asking them to do. Or, I mean, in the hunting lodge, you see a perfect example of our psychic medium, who is basically hearing them say, hey, or hearing them position themselves, and then they show up on camera. Like, what is that? That kind of makes sense a little bit, because if it's some intelligent situation here, some intelligent being, they call it mind speak in the UFO world, and telepathy and whatnot. So is this part of that? Are we kind of seeing some of that? That's a possibility there. That's a possible connection. We're seeing a lot of similarities to the UFO kind of world and the normal world. For example, you watch Skinwalker Ranch, they talk about a hitchhiker effect. Well, that they're talking about, things happening outside of the location. Well, in paranormal, we call it,
something like the ghost follow you home.
Yeah, follows you home. Yeah, we're calling it an attachment. So there is these similarities that we're seeing across the two paths.
In the two fields.
So there's something there.
But I'll just tell you something. With my experience, the biggest difference will be, are you able to capture physical evidence? Like, how easy is it to capture physical evidence, like an interaction? Because all these years of paranormal investigating, it's been really difficult to capture, physical evidence. And an experience in Georgia was absolutely 100% more physical. I don't know how, because I couldn't see it really with my eyes. Like anybody there, any I couldn't see anything making the sounds or provoking the.
Usually in our experience, you capture footsteps. It's very ghostly, like it's very light, or it's like a sound. It's no physical movement. It's just a sound that you can't pinpoint from anywhere. You're just like, I hear footsteps, or you hear footsteps and it sounds like it's coming from, upstairs or downstairs. But like,
it sounds crazy. Like when you were able to recreate the dresser making the sound, because it matched the sound in the digital recorder. That's when I was like,
that's when we knew we had something different that we've never seen before. So therefore you have an element of something with weight, a weighted thing that came into our room and made these footsteps, but there's nothing there. Like it's invisible. Like, to put it, the best way I can wrap my mind around it, we have this heavy-weighted thing that is making these noises and creating this disruption, physically moving an object in the room to make a sound, the dresser handle, as you would a real human being. So I don't know how that's possible.
So something is causing a physical reaction in our world. The cameras are not capturing it. Like, so.
And not to mention the disruption, as soon as you start to hear these footsteps, Vera's smart enough and put a recorder down real fast.
Goes into the bedroom, and the door never opened. Like, what is
that?
The
door was locked. Like that door was locked, and there's no way anybody came in. We had door alarms on all the doors in the house because I was worried about people coming in. The alarms would have gone off. It wasn't possible for anybody to enter a room like that we captured on that night. So that's been a very big question for us.
It could be possible that, what all along we've been calling ghosts or spirits could be just what they're calling now interdimensional being, some sort of being that is not necessarily a ghost, but is an intelligent thing that exists. It's just outside of the realm of we can understand. Yeah. And we're not the first ones that have come to kind of the.
Well, I mean, these signs are starting to show up. Like, we interviewed Calvin Parker, who was an abductee, and he had this profound. He's in part 1 of The House in Between. And when we interviewed him, this is something that didn't make the movie, but when we interviewed Calvin Parker. Maybe it was off it might have been something off the record. I can't remember. I'll have to go back. But when I was talking to him, he had said, because we were talking about our house and, how it's potentially haunted and this and that. And he said, well, my brother and I, when I was younger at my house, had an experience with ghosts. And I was like, really? And this was like kind of the first time that I had heard like somebody who had dealt with a massive abduction case and had also seen ghosts in the past. So it was, and him and his brother had this ghostly experience.
But a ghost meaning a black shadow being hovering over him.
So was that? So there's a lot of things that
it's hard to getting connected.
To answer your question, I think yes. I think there's.
Well, I mean, you already know the answer.
I think yes. I think we're being mistaken a lot as investigators, and we should open our minds a little more to the possibility of some of this stuff being stuff that you just don't know what it is. Like, stop slapping a label on it and saying it's Old Man Jenkins that's haunting the place, and maybe like think about it as like, well, let's put all possibilities on the table, especially now when scientists are just discovering that there's a possibility of multi-dimensions. There's, black holes. There's, all these just, we got CERN over there. We got like a lot of stuff happening in this world that's starting to come through. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I think we should start thinking about all that as a whole. Because, I don't know if you've seen the news lately, but there's a lot going on with these craft that are showing up on government cameras, and so who's piloting these craft, what do they want? Like, there's a lot of questions here.
I have a question. Obviously, your friend who has a coffee shop and who claims to have a connection with the starseed, family. What was his intake? What was his opinion?
Oh, so
with the hunting lodge.
So
regarding the hunting lodge.
So they're two different people. So the guy who is a starseed, he's on the team. He's on the paranormal team. I don't know if he's seen the Haunting Lodge. I'm trying to get him to watch it. But my friend who has seen the Haunting Lodge, he believes that they do go hand in hand because he sees things the way I see things. Right now, everyone because it's becoming a norm now, paranormal investigating and witchcraft, curanderas, mediums, it's becoming a norm. And so we believe a lot of people are having their awakening moment, so to speak. And so all these energies are being put out there into the universe, and we're feeding basically whatever's out there. And so the more energy we give these spirits, the more likely they are to show themselves. And in a way, I kind of feel like our energy is kind of signaling off signals to other things, letting them know, hey, we're all awake, we're all open. Why don't you come down and talk to us? And I have a friend who, her name's Sarah. She's a really, really good friend of mine. I just met her as well. She's also a starseed. She said she's from Andromeda, which is a planet. She says that there's a lot of people from other planets that don't even know they exist. And so she's like, a lot of them are starting to open up and starting to realize that they're here. And I don't know. I think a lot of crazy stuff is fixing to unfold, and a lot of crazy paranormal stuff is fixing to happen. So that's just
it seems to be every day is there's new stuff coming out, and like I think we're just at the point of technology being able to see better in the dark, see better, higher frame rates, see better need to see. Maybe these things have been there for thousands of years, or maybe they come and go, but like I think the next few years here, you're going to start seeing some technology that we're going to be able to really start to get a grasp on what we got, out here. I've been saying that for a long time. I wish cameras would do this. I wish cameras would do that. I wish I could have, this and that. And it's interesting because like, with advancements of sensor technology and cameras and stuff, things are happening faster.
Yep. And a lot of people are starting to think more outside the box than inside the box. And so they're creating devices that people would have never thought about doing. So I think with these new technology and with these new devices, we're going to end up seeing a lot more things and picking up a lot more things that we never even thought about doing.
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a really good point. Yeah, it's been so stigmatized for so long that even the people with the ability to create these amazing devices wouldn't even go there.
Yeah, they weren't even thinking about it.
Because
I love seeing like some of these people who have studied these sciences for so long, they're starting to talk about like the possibility of these multi-dimensions and these I heard
they have personal experiences themselves, and they're finally coming out and talking about it, and they can relate to others because they have had experiences. Yeah. So
I heard a congresswoman say the term multi-dimensional being the other day.
He said the video.
Wow. And I was like, I think I posted on I can't remember where I posted it somewhere, but I was just like in shock because like the stigma for all this stuff has been so terrible for so long. And, it's like, wow, like this is groundbreaking that like, a congresswoman feels comfortable even talking about the possibility of multi-dimensional beings piloting these craft. It's like we've really come a far way just in the last few years here.
Yeah, we really have, and that's kind of this cool and scary thing at the same time. Because the Lord knows.
What was your favorite part of the hunting lodge?
Ooh, That's a good question for me. Mine would have to be the way y'all interact. Yeah, the interaction with the lights. Oh, well, no. So that was a good one. My favorite part was seeing Vera's genuine reaction to the paralantern going off.
Oh,
I loved her reaction to the paralantern. Because I remember when I had it and y'all were asking me how it worked and I was explaining it to y'all, and then just seeing her reaction go off to it, I was like, yes, that's exactly how I feel all the time it goes off.
Yeah, I think I said it. That thing never goes off.
Yeah.
I love how like it takes a lot to set it off. The false positives are zero none on that thing.
It's not, and it wasn't just simply seeing something go off. It's like the feeling that interaction, you know. Congresswoman will have it.
Read that comment out loud. It's so good. 5 years ago, a congresswoman would have eat grass before she would admit that. So. Yeah, you're right. Like this is, I mean, we're in, our dimension just flipped. Like this is crazy times right now. That's nuts. But
I mean, and then that happened. It's been all right. We experienced that in Georgia, and it was like 2019, 2020, and then the Congress had that hearing, and we were just like, we're just experiencing.
We were at the lodge when, like, I think it was a couple days after we saw the light.
So it made the experience even more
real like
for us.
They released the triangle video. It was the triangle video, right? They released one video.
No, the TikTok.
The TikTok. Yeah, they released the TikTok.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, they're talking about this on the news. This is crazy. Like,
which I've seen before.
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, it's
the lights. It went from being really scary, and the lights was actually, although I couldn't see a lot of them because I had the EMC sitting in front of me, so that the light was blasting me, and I couldn't really experience as much as everybody else.
They were.
I saw a few of them, but not as much because I had to be. I was monitoring the camera. We were very, very documenting this, but I can see them through the camera. And the whole interaction, I mean, just having someone saying they're coming to your right and then seeing the light appear to Kendall's right, I was just like
Jill.
It was scary, but at the same time, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. It's like, okay, now we know where to point the camera before activity. This is amazing.
But then check this out. Go experience that, and I'm like, okay, go to bed now. And the same place I just used to experience that. Go to bed.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
Jill couldn't. I mean, she's used to this stuff. She does this for living, and she couldn't sleep in the middle room.
Yeah,
she couldn't. And then things didn't stop there. I mean, it's because once you start, sometimes it just doesn't stop. You open the door, and
there's no stop. There's no off switch. It's like there's delayed reaction sometimes. It's funny. Yeah, that's why I think the Paralight was amazing because it was instant. It was instant, like amazing. It wasn't like
responses.
Are you here with us? And then you just wait and you wait and you wait, and then maybe a little trickle or something.
I'm happy the audience has been forgiving with us, because it's so raw. So it's not like we planned this question, this perfect interview. It's like it's whatever was coming out of our mouth.
We watch it.
I didn't even speak. I don't think I could ask anything. I was just like,
oh my gosh.
You were
trying to be a little more professional out there, Kendall.
But Jill too, and she's psychic, and she does this for a living, and she still was like, what is going on?
You just get excited.
And then she saw the little thing also in the hallway.
Yeah, that was.
We missed it in the beginning, and then I was like, I want to take a second look, and then I went and I zoomed in, and I was like, wait.
I'll never forget when she found the footage.
Actually, something moving, and I mean, that was really weird. That was really weird.
Yeah, I mean, wild ride. Yeah, our reactions were very very, like I was trying to say earlier, like, oh gosh, like Vera and I watch it, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're like. We're so excited. But you think about it.
I cut down on the reaction. Yeah. So a lot of them were so like dramatic and goofy. And
but you investigate, and especially when you're invested for like multiple days. You're in there. You're like, you know, you're doing your thing for so long, and then things happen. You know, like Alice's house, when that ball went, you know, it's like, I don't think you have bodily control over yourself when something that you know is paranormal happening. It's just like.
Wait, didn't you and I texted around that time when we were in Georgia? I think you and I were texting, and I was telling you like a little bit of what I experienced. I was freaked out.
Yeah.
And I think you actually kind of reassured me that it didn't feel bad, that it wasn't, that I wasn't in danger. You were kind of like,
that's right.
Yeah. Because I was like, this is weird. This is different. This is really creepy. And that house you didn't experience that.
Did you ever?
Yeah, I felt really bad. I have to apologize. I didn't believe Vera really. What's that?
Did you ever find that box that I told you about?
No. We didn't. It could have been weird. No, we didn't. We didn't dig. We didn't look that hard either. There was rooms that were locked.
Yeah. I mean, we investigated that place pretty well.
No. But then I just remember another one. You didn't believe me in the beginning.
No, when she had her experience,
sleep in that room because
when she had her experience, I'm like, the door was locked. Like,
there's stuff
telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, nobody's coming in and touching your back. Like,
well, it was more than that. I left a lot of it out where I don't even know if I want to talk about it now. It was more intense than that. That was
a mild version.
I was feeling because he thought I was so crazy that I was just gonna be judged so hard because my experience was really more than that. Like, I had this cocoon of energy, all like I feel like I was like
all over you.
Like all cocoon of energy all over me, and it was going like I can feel it. I couldn't hear anything, but I can feel it, like something like on me. Like, see, you get so serious.
It honestly, it freaks me out. Like, I'm sleeping. I can't protect her, and it drives me nuts that this happened.
And I saw a flash,
I just shut it
bright
down.
light. It was a bright light on my face, and something all of a sudden blocked the light. And I was like, the F that I'm opening my eyes now. Like, I am not ready. This is way beyond my comfort zone. This is way too close. And then I don't remember anything else after that. But I when I woke up, I was like, dude, did I get drugged up? Like, that was my reaction. Did something break into a room in the middle of nowhere?
And that was the other thing. I was
like,
someone came in.
That
here,
was the most logical.
We're gonna
the most logical thing to think.
Yeah.
I was like planning
we had
our exit.
Let me talk.
Yeah, sorry.
We had cameras everywhere.
It's a heated topic here.
No, it is. I mean,
that's.
We talked about it for so long and argued about it for so long. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I wasn't there for her. I feel terrible.
But then later on, we spoke with the owner, and this wasn't filmed. Like a year later, he confessed that one of the people that stayed there had a super similar experience, and it was so traumatic that he was terrified.
Oh my goodness.
So
we confirmed it. Yeah. For me, we got up and I'm like, hey, how'd you sleep? I mean, that part you saw on camera and everything.
Yeah.
But like she starts going in the story, and I'm like, I don't know. I just kind of shut down. I was like, what? This is like crazy. This is crazy. Like, this is, and then she's like telling me that like somebody, like somebody touched her in the back, and I'm like, nobody's
on my
coming
spine.
In, or in your
it was
spine.
like I don't know, like this is the spine, and there were fingers that were going like this, like kind of like feeling the spine along the spine. I'm thinking in that moment, Kendall, like, what the hell, creepy? Like, you're being such a creep out right now. It's like,
right.
But it didn't. I don't even know why I was thinking that, but I didn't react to it. And I didn't like. It's so weird.
I was out. Like I went to sleep and then I woke up, and that's all I remember. Like, I didn't have
and my shoulder
like I didn't have anything that she.
I thought you were telling me, I hear it. Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Are you awake? Kind of like prompting me that the sounds were happening, the footsteps, because that was the main claim, the big footsteps.
Yeah.
But I couldn't move. I froze. I couldn't. I was just like, and then after that, this energy, or like, I was just like,
which is weird because in the recorder it goes, like
I should put
knocks
that on
out
YouTube.
it knocks out the audio.
The whole audio.
She tried to figure out what that noise was.
Yeah.
Like we took it into sound generators and like try to see what the frequency was. We try to analyze the heck out of it. We did put it out there because there's people that know frequency, study frequency, but it's so weird. We think it's a fraction of what happened, or that noise, that like that weird noise that kind of takes over the audio recording.
I was terrified, obviously. I was like,
but I did, so and then I heard the foot, like she plays the audio for me on on camera there.
Yeah.
And as soon as I heard that thing, I was like, oh my God, I know what that is, because I walked in and out of that room 100 times every day and hear that noise, because I move the floor moves when you walk on it, and I was like,
yeah, it's in the whole house.
And that's when I was like, somebody came in.
But also, I forgot to mention, Kendall put door alarms in all the doors, like door, like when you open the door.
Yeah, like whenever you open the door, it goes off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He had.
Yeah, there was door alarms on both doors, the front and the back. Nobody got in there. There was no way to do any of that because of the cameras and just everything in the house. I mean.
But anyway, once I really need someone to give me closure, and Jill helped a lot with the process and the fact that I was like, is this a demon? Please help me.
Yeah, that helped a lot. Yeah,
she was laughing at me. He's like, no, and then we went through the whole process, and lots of people saw it. Now, hello, as people saw in the film, it was a completely a big plot twist.
Yeah. I mean,
a really amazing ending.
Soon as we weren't even thinking anything otherworldly until Jill got there and was
we were like for sure the Native Americans.
Yeah, we were like,
right, that's what I thought. Yeah,
and we were like, for sure this is gonna be coming from there, because there's so much, it's such a sad history.
She tapped in and she goes, other things.
And we at first were like, no, oh my gosh, what? She's broken. Something happened. Something's wrong.
This is crazy. This just got crazy. Like what?
But I mean, once she was on the field, I'm like, okay, this is for real.
Yeah.
This is for
real.
Yeah,
she was tapping in multiple things there, which, I mean, still, like, Jill and that, like, whole experience, oh my gosh.
I will also to witness that, because you forget you're on the field in the middle of the field, and she's in front of my EMC city camera. I'm just making sure that we're recording this. She's saying the things that are going to happen, and then I am confirming that they're happening. So that was another thing for me to witness, like the evidence of ESP.
Yeah.
And full.
I think we documented a bunch with Jill, like the whole, not just ESP, but actually being able to read where she's going, psychic impressions of the location. That car ride was like
ride was that was crazy.
I mean,
at first we were like, we shouldn't be doing this in the car, we
were gonna stop it and go, no, we shouldn't film this in the car. We should do it at the location. She just was like when she goes on, she's like boom, 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 boom.
Turn it off.
And you're like, oh my God, she's getting all this.
You're sensitive, right? You're just
I call it my word vomit. It goes and it goes and it goes and it goes and it goes. Yeah, because once it starts, it keeps going and keeps going, and you can't turn it off.
And we're like, we got to go with it. Yeah, it doesn't matter where it happens. It just happens. And how amazing! What a gift to be able to do that. I don't know.
I don't know if I left it in the dog. I can't remember, but she said she could smell the gunpowder.
Yeah, she did.
Mm-hmm. Did I didn't remember.
The gunpowder.
That was a long ride.
Yeah, I mean,
because we flew her in a different state. By
she came in.
We had to go pick her up. Yeah. We want her to research and be tempted.
We did that on the House in Between. Luckily, she trusts us.
Yeah,
we did that same thing. The House in Between. We're like, we're gonna do that again. She's like, okay, I'm fine with that. And we did the same thing as the House in Between. Flew her in. She didn't know where she was going. And
she picked up on some things that were so heavy we couldn't even put them in the dock.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was on point. We knew what to expect because she was drawing.
We're talking a lot.
Yeah, so
No,
she
you're
was drawing
fine. I
stuff.
love this. I love
She was
this.
she was drawing these drawings before she even came to the place.
It's just
Like
I
that was
saw-
crazy to me.
That
That
was crazy.
was nuts. She's like, I don't know if this
Wait.
has anything to do with it, but like
when we first called her, she had a
she had drawing.
one
Yeah.
drawing
Yeah.
that she said, I've been thinking about this nonstop. I've been getting this information. I've been drawing. She was drawing
Yeah.
house
Yeah. She drew the
before
house.
we called her.
Wow.
She goes, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I was like,
And then send it to us.
Yeah,
to
send it to
see.
us.
And
We'll
Kendall
check
and
it.
I were, nobody
looked at it. Yeah. We looked at it and we were just like, whoa, like this is the porch. This is this. This is that. It's like that tree actually exists.
The tree.
I mean, I don't know how she does it. It's crazy, but I'm glad we documented it the way we, because I mean,
It's
like doing these docs like is super hard for that. Like these little like moments that you just almost have to fit everything because they just happen like out of nowhere, and then you're like, oh my gosh, we didn't get that. We have so many of those in our movies, and we can never use them. Like, for example, we had a moment at the house in between, and I wish I had it on camera. This guy all of a sudden shows up to the house.
oh yeah.
He just knocked on the door, and like we're getting set up for the first documentary, first everything. He knocks on the door, and Alice answers the door, and he's all dressed in a suit, and he has a big like black truck, and he's like, have you ever? What was the question? Gosh, I'm gonna mess this up, but it's very close. He said, have you ever thought where you're gonna go when you die or something? It was a very off-put question, and especially for what we were doing there. Like we had just gotten there, and like this dude shows up, and he's like, well, I'm with blah 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 funeral services, and I'm selling caskets today. Do you want to prepare for your death? And like she comes in, she's like, wow, that was a very weird interaction I just had. I was like, what's it? She goes, well, this gentleman's selling like coffins or death plots or something. I was like, has that ever happened before? She's like, that is the first time. I don't know. Isn't that? It's kind of weird.
That is weird.
We didn't have it on camera. We didn't get any.
You didn't see like the person.
He had laughed. Yeah. He wasn't there anymore.
I mean, if you think somebody was selling something, we'll be in the next house.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. Yeah. But
that's crazy.
It was so strange. Like I was like, why would that person show up? I think it was the first day of production. Why would somebody show up talking about death at the door?
Yeah, that's weird.
Death arrived at the doorstep. It was so ironic. But yeah, we have like little moments like that happen all the time that are off camera, and it's just so strange. We're like,
that is very strange to have someone randomly. Do you think they were dead or alive?
I think they were alive. I don't think they were dead. I mean,
you don't know that.
We didn't capture them on any of the cameras or anything, but like it was so physical. He can't, like Alice described his truck. He had like a big old black like pickup truck or something.
But she had a bad,
that's crazy.
Like a bad vibe from it.
She did have a bad vibe from it.
She didn't feel.
Yeah, that it was. I don't know. It was just kind of weird off.
That is weird. That's yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't. I mean, yeah, we have like moments like that. Always, we'll get like. We talking to Jill, just on the phone.
The Conjuring House, I remember we got an email from someone saying, hey, do you all see the window when Brian Murray's talking on camera, and then behind him there's a window that's in the the dining room, the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they said this like white thing passing by.
I saw that.
And
did you see that?
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah.
So I was rewatching I watched all of them today because I was like, oh, I was so excited about the podcast. I said, I'm going to have a binge marathon. So I started watching The House in Between all the way into The Haunting Lodge. And it's when y'all are sitting at the table, and I think one of the meters goes off, and then they hear the door shut. But when you get up, you can see something walk right in front of the door. And I was like, wait, was it what? And so I rewinded it, and I let it play again. And I was like, oh, holy crap. That's crazy.
Yeah, there was a window.
Was that?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we're talking about the same things.
It was like the window pane of the door.
When it was like filming outside in, right?
Yeah.
No.
No, it was filming. Yeah. It was the door. It was filming inside out.
that we didn't see.
Filming
That
inside
we were
the
filming
house.
outside in,
Yeah.
and we were talking to Brian and Rochelle out
Oh
there.
yeah, show me
And
Now, this
there's
one was
like
inside.
something that passes by the window outside. I gotta watch that. That was brought to our attention by somebody on the
we got an
internet,
email.
and we're like, we gotta see this.
I
and
didn't
we went
edit
back.
that one, so
Yeah, we went back, and
I
there it is. It's like this weird white like dress looking thing in the back of the window. It's outside.
No, the one that
It's outside. I mean, outside with Brian and Rochelle filming in, and
It's right up. It's right after Rochelle had her face kind of do a weird
that
thing.
face
on the photograph.
Yeah,
This one's inside looking out.
I gotta see that.
You
Yeah,
gotta-
yeah.
I'll
I'm
have
gonna
to,
look at
I'll
that
have to
again.
re-show you that.
Yeah.
I for Brad Cooney, I've hit up that man so many times. I'm like, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? And he just laughs at me. He's like,
we used to leave a lot of things like that for investigators.
Yeah,
to
we would
find,
not
and
point
we're
out
not
stuff.
getting-
You
no, we
know.
wouldn't point
Yeah,
things.
sometimes we would do that. but-
The house in between had a lot of lights.
yeah.
Weird little lights
Yeah.
that not many
Yeah.
people. No many
Yeah.
people notice.
Is it
but-
number 2 that the drones come in and like at the very beginning there's the drone, you see the drone shot and you
Mhm.
literally see a little light go bing like that, bing, like that on,
But,
on the drone camera, which I
I
haven't seen.
saw. It was weird because I was
Oh, yeah, tell
outside
them
on
about
the
your personal
front,
experience,
and they
yeah.
were inside. And I saw this little fuzzy light, like orange fuzzy light. It was, I don't even know how. It was just.
This was off
bouncing.
camera and
Yeah,
just
off
when we
camera.
were setting up for an
was
interview or
just
something.
outside on the front porch, and the little fuzzy light on the grass. It was just going like, kind of like floating like that, and I'm like, well, and I'm looking at the sun to see if it was maybe reflection or something. So I go inside, and everybody's talking about those. Seeing the fuzzy lights out front of the, so that we're seeing them from
Some
the inside.
people
was
saw it
Brad
inside
Cooney,
and outside, yeah.
and they
She
were in the
saw it from
living
outside.
room. Yes, I was outside,
Yeah.
and they saw it from the inside.
Yeah.
It was
wow.
It wasn't dark yet. It was around.
It was dusk, I'd say. I think it was dusk. Yeah.
Like 6:05.
Yeah.
Start 36,
Yeah.
36.
Not like what
But-
Alice saw. I think what Alice saw was.
But she sees lights there.
Yeah, was very scary
Floating
for
balls
her.
of light.
Yeah, that's
The
that was a
tunnel
different.
light.
Yeah, that was a different situation there.
Um,
That the beam of light that she saw. I
in her
mean,
room.
we
Yeah.
still like. That's still a hard one to figure out what that was because. I mean, the way she describes it in her experience, it's very, very detailed and very sharp and very like real. Like I don't know how to explain it. Very materialized, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is something I hope that with all the cameras in the house and capture. You know, I know
That would be
Brad and John are still rolling 24/7 on the place with more cameras than
yeah.
you can even imagine. So that's the goal over there is if we capture that column of light that Alice saw. I mean, that
That would be awesome.
be
We
very
have
interesting.
so many experiences. Like they're starting to like pop on
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. That is
Just
so
remembering
amazing.
everything.
Well, we're there at these locations. We're there for weeks, so it's we're very lucky to be able to block out time at these places and really kind of dig in and everything.
When we went in the woods in the country house, remember this? It was like I think I was in like in the movie Jurassic Park. There was this stomp. Remember this? The like boom,
Yeah.
boom. Like something was walking towards. It
Sounded
was,
like a
so
giant.
heavy. Like
Wow.
boom, boom. Like it was like
Yeah.
coming. We were just what
The
in
woods at the
world?
Conjuring House
They
they come
alive.
alive. Yeah, they
Like,
come
they were
alive.
just
I mean, it's wacky. We went back there to go
the camping.
do a camp out there, and like it was. I remember it was like so hot, so we're like cruising around, and we're just like, it's finally nighttime, and we're just kind of getting set up and everything, and then
We were gonna do a fire, but I
Yeah.
guess the weather was wet and they couldn't set it.
yeah,
And ended up being no working out. But we were all outside. So I just started doing something that I really don't do. I started just kind of being like, hey, because the lights, if you're out there, would you come out and, tonight and say hello? And I was just kind of acting that on my own. And then I see this light, bluish light that comes out and goes, whoo.
Oh,
I was
wow.
just like, and with my own eyes. It was with my own eyes, and I was like, and then I started keep interacting with it, and then I said, okay, can you hear me? And he goes again, boom. And then I was like, Kendall, hurry, the camera,
I was like,
camera.
Hey! I
And then
started
running, and
I didn't have the camera. I was so pissed because like I was trying to get the EMCCD camera set up and everything, and
we didn't have it.
I just didn't have it. And I ran to her, and like there was at that point there was like 4 or 5 people that came. Well, that first came, and then more people started coming.
Everybody witnessed this.
Everybody witnessed it.
Wow.
We took the flashlight and said, "Can you see this flag? Can you flash 3 times?" And we'll go click, 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 and it will go boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
I was like, "This is interacting."
It was awesome. And then we're like, maybe it's like a game camera or something. We're like, what if it's like some camera out in the woods or something? So we're like, well, if it's a light that's, game cameras have a light that's like fake or whatever. Let's go around and see on the side. So we went we walked around on the other side. The thing like following us. I'm not even kidding. Like it was just like we're walking and it's like tracking us along the side. I mean, it was like crazy. Swamp gas? I don't think so. Ball lightning, definitely
Somebody
not.
In there.
Possibly some kind of like major hoax. Like, did Corey go out in the swamp and like, because there's like a pond like over there. Did Corey swim out in the pond and like put some weird like light on no, I don't
on a
think
string.
So. I actually got up early the next day. I was like, I gotta see what this is. Somebody's like doing shit. So I like got up. Went over there. It was crazy to climb over these branches and stuff. I got in, and I'm like, there's like water there. There's no way that like anybody was in there with their flashlight moving, whatever. But I mean, it was so like
or interacting.
So
the other ones, the other people that kept interacting.
But there was more. There was a lot of people that saw it. So it was cool. It was like a multi-witness.
It didn't feel scary though.
No, it didn't at all. It didn't feel like like it was like. Demonic.
No. It didn't feel scary at all.
So Sam wants to know, do y'all believe that there's a lot of new energy brought into the house from others investigating there?
There's a lot of provoking.
Yeah, you know what? I think, let's see, how, like, how you attract, like, people that vibe at your same vibe, your same energy, your same, like you kind of like surround yourself with people. You're like, you're hanging out and like, you make friends with people who kind of vibe with you, right? So if you're intense and you're like, you're gonna bring in like some intense shit. You're gonna bring in like the guy that's like, okay, So maybe that's what's happening. Maybe your energy matches like what you bring in. Maybe you're manifesting this in some kind I don't know. Maybe you're bringing in energy. I do have to say that like you got to be careful because you don't know if you're being tricked. Like
you just have to use this.
You just have to be careful. I kept feeling like I had to go down to the well, and I don't know why. It was interesting. It was like showed up on the
Ovilus?
Spirit box. The spirit box.
Spirit box.
It was like basement, We didn't put that in the dock at all.
But you mean the Ovilus? The one that there was like the words and stuff?
No, sorry. The spirit box. The
spirit box.
The spirit box. They kept, it kept saying basement.
They had the good one.
They had one that was like really good.
Panasonic.
Yeah, John actually.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Has good ones there. John, that thing interacts with John so crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah, like we saw it firsthand.
That was another thing that we witnessed that I have never witnessed before.
I was skeptical of that thing when I went there. I was like, I don't know about that. Like, it's very. I don't know. It's just very radio.
Because it's a radio.
And it's like Radio Shack investigation.
And it's just scanning. Never really. But then But
then it starts like all this stuff. And then Corey's like, okay, let me ask you this. If FM radio waves, if it's picking up on radio waves and stuff, would it ever swear? And I'm like, actually, it won't, because the FCC won't allow swearing on the radio. Sure enough, things like swearing.
No, it swears.
It's like, I don't know how that happens.
And we captured on camera. It didn't make the film because we wanted to be like family friendly.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to put that
yeah,
on
we gotta
YouTube.
put it. We have so much fun. We're gonna have to put this
that
out
on YouTube.
because it's pretty cool. Like it's definitely interesting. That thing there works really well.
And then the phone that was ringing that we couldn't.
Oh, tell them
figure
about
it out.
that. Yeah, tell them about that.
You were
This one's
when you
wacky.
first went out in the woods.
Yeah.
With before Rachel and I came out, and I was just loading footage to the hard drive, and then Rachel was with me, and I don't know where we hear this like old time phone ringing. The DVR captured the sound.
It sounds like an old government phone. Like I don't even know.
I have to say government.
Well, it sounds like you know what? It reminded me of Lost. You know the show Lost, where the button, you gotta hit that button thing or whatever. It sounded like something that you would find at the compound in Lost. That it was
We
like
were
it was so.
Oh yeah.
We captured on video, on the audio on the DVR. So like, I just thought it was like, oh, we left the door got opened or whatever, some alarm went off or something. But we asked Corey and Jen, they're like, there's no alarms here that sound like that. We've never heard that.
And there's no phones.
Yeah, there's no phones or anything.
And yeah.
He said, I always thought it would be cool to
to
investigate Gettysburg after a get together. All the energy brought to the location seemed like it would bring out some great energy left behind from others. That would be cool.
Yeah, Gettysburg
would be cool.
I've really
done a faces in
you've
Gettysburg,
been there.
yeah.
I haven't.
It's
I've always
wild,
wanted to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We drove by it on our way.
Yeah, we gotta go. Yeah.
To the country house.
Yeah.
Can we stop real quick?
I'll go with you.
Oh.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. That would be very interesting. I mean, just history. My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
We could go crazy with the history piece there for sure.
Yeah.
Did you like the history in the Haunting Lodge? Do you like our history piece there?
I loved the history piece. That's what I love about that is the fact that y'all guys gave like a little history about the location. So that way people who are watching it could understand what was there. So that way, like the Native American flutes, if you didn't know anything about that, you would have never known why that was there. You'd been like, well, that's kind of weird. Like, why are they hearing that in the middle of nowhere? If it's like a haunting lodge, like hunters don't do that, you know? So I think it's cool that y'all guys included history in it. Takes me back to that idea. So y'all heard the Native American flutes, and then y'all heard the howling.
That was
at
the Conjuring.
That was at the Conjuring.
That was at the Conjuring, yeah, not the Haunted Lodge.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So going back to that, y'all heard the howling, and Native American culture, that's like the way that they, kind of signal each other to like, they call each other out and stuff.
It sounded like a man.
And that's how it starts. It starts off like a human, and then it goes into like a wolf howl, and then it ends up like more humanized.
Wait. Are you describing? Have you experienced that before, or
we have? So here in San Antonio, there's what we call the forest. Anthony Sabelos, he is the founder of the Texas Wraith Hunters. He actually stumbled upon this forest, and it is like one of our favorite places to investigate because of the history of it. It's so rich in history. It's beautiful, and it has Native American history in it. There's 7 tribes in this forest, and that's how we hear it. It'll sound off human-like, and then it sounds like a bunch of wolves or coyotes, and then it starts to disintegrate into a human-like sound again. And every time we hear this, we'll like have some kind of paranormal experience afterwards. It's really crazy.
Wow.
But I remember in Sleepless Unrest, y'all guys heard like the banging on the trees and stuff. Do you think maybe it was a skinwalker y'all guys were encountering?
I never thought. It's funny because like as soon as I started researching it, it was like, oh, Bigfoot is a possibility. But like, man, I'll be honest, I have no idea. I didn't see anything like?
Is that what your perception is?
Yeah, what do
That's
you
what I think it was.
Yeah.
I think
We've been
there's
told that
something
I mean,
out there.
We've been told that
it's like kind of elemental something. Something. It was interacting with us, and it was real close to me. Like I heard it, it was like right there. It was like probably like 8 to 10 feet away, but I didn't see anything. I heard it come from the tree that it was right there. And then it would go to this tree, and then it went over here, and then it went over here. And it was like, how is this even happening? Like that was off a whim too. I was like, oh, hey, like let's do this knock thing.
It's important for you to know that you've never experienced that before.
No.
And you have that's actually a thing in the
but
and that does happen, because that actually happened to Anthony when, like, not even a week or two ago when we went to the forest. We heard talking over here, and he went over here, and then the talking was over here, and then he went that way, and the talking was in another spot.
No way.
Yeah, it's some crazy
Wow.
stuff.
So what is that? That's a good question. I think it is related to the lights, because we originally saw those lights. We heard faint sounds coming from the woods, and that's why we spun the camera around. We had it at the house, we spun it around, and then and that's when we started to notice these lights flashing in the trees. And then of course we got to see what that is, and that's when we started hearing we did the knocking, and that was something that I think that was one of the most interesting, energized moments of my investigating, just because it was like one thing after another that was happening, and it made no sense either.
It was consistent. Like a one time.
It wasn't like, oh, did I hear that? No, it was like it wanted our attention. It wanted our attention.
Yeah.
And it's funny because right when we got to the Conjuring house too, Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He was there with us too that night.
That's really cool. Yeah, because does it mimic what you're doing? Yeah, like the knocks, like you could go down a rabbit hole. Is it like, is it like, are those real knocks? Is that like some weird sound they make? Is it like, I don't know. It's really interesting. But what I was gonna say is like, when I first got to the Conjuring house, Corey was outside, and I was flying the drone, and it was so weird because like out by the road, there's like, as you're in the backyard, you're looking out towards the road, and they have like trees and whatnot. And off to the left of the property, there's these bushes, and like out of nowhere, you just see these bushes like. It was almost like someone was in the bushes, like the tree, a larger tree, maybe 8 feet tall, like moving the trees around and this and that. And I look, and I'm like, there's nothing over there. And Corey's like, what's going on? So I fly the drone actually way up to the trees, and I look on my monitor, and I'm like, there's like nothing there. And I'm like, what the heck? Did like a tornado, like some weird tornado come through, like a wind, like some weird wind spout come through and like go through the trees there? And I was laughing, and I'm like, Corey were laughing about it. It's like, it's almost like Bigfoot was over there, and like this was shaking the tree. Yeah. But this was before all this stuff happened outside the house. Like that had happened like early on. So after all that, I was like, I wonder if those trees are like something that was also part of the land.
It could be. I mean, that just makes you think though. Like, could it be a part of the Native American history of the land? Could it be connected to something with the house?
They had such a sad history as well.
Yeah.
Sad.
Oh gosh, that guy's head was on a stake for like up until the 60s.
I don't know, just heavy stuff.
That was wild. Yeah, that land is like, whoo, that King Philip's War, and
what is with you guys and finding sad history?
I think America's got really sad
There's a lot of untold history.
And that's the thing, is like,
which
we don't stay away from it. It's there.
Which it could be a lot of lack of closure as well.
True.
If it the spirit world is still lingering, you know, and but we don't know. I mean, for instance, in the Haunted Lodge, we thought that was going to be the case.
Yeah, because there was those burial mounds like
and we
a few miles away. We found that unmarked grave. There was,
the mounds were
I mean, the area was
amazing.
known for, you know,
Fort Gaines, Georgia. I mean, it's definitely like a really, it's amazing. The whole town, the history. It's a really cool museum.
Yeah, we like
really
Fort
cool
Gaines
story.
is like a very historic town, and you know has like a very beautiful like historic architecture. There was a few places there that had other claims of paranormal activity
We wanted
as well,
to go there, yeah,
which were very interesting. And we were kind of like looking at the town as a whole almost because of just the history and some of the buildings and there was like a gun battle out in the street out in front of the
back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day there was
and everybody was so friendly. Everybody was so nice, and everybody wanted to tell their story.
Yeah,
like it was just overall such a great experience.
Yeah, we didn't know what to expect because sometimes you point cameras in people's faces.
Another synchronicity that happened. We the historian. We were focusing only on the fact that we were going to talk about the Native Americans and the mounds and the war that happened, the War of 1812, all the wars that happened there that, was fascinating. I don't know where he just starts.
We weren't going to talk paranormal.
We weren't going to talk paranormal because, again, we want to scare him like we scared geologists before. And I don't know where he just started talking about it. And we're like, what?
And he started talking about the lights. And we didn't say anything. And it was like, whoa, like if you saw our faces, it's like, holy cow. Yeah, that was cool. Like I forgot about that.
It's just happened.
Things happen a lot like that. And it's just like, wow. And then we find out like
because we never told them anything.
Yeah. We're just like, we want to talk the history, which was the mounds and Fort Gaines' history, so we could do our history piece. But then he went into like those stuff and we're just like, hey.
Hello.
Donna. We've got really, I mean, things, it's just,
so
it's like, it just unfolds sometimes. And if you're able to capture it.
We can possibly know everything, especially historical events. And it was really eye-opening to learn some of the things that
But we knew after we talked to him, we're like, this is going to have a very heavy history piece for sure. This is got to have.
Yeah, we have to be careful with it. And,
because there's a lot of different things that could be happening there. Fort Gaines there's a very interesting crystal. There's a lot of crystal underneath Fort Gaines that we didn't know about. So and when we research, some stuff doesn't make the film. So but we want to get to the bottom of what's going on. So
but we're working on that another film, and that part is gonna make it.
Oh, did you just say part?
I say part two. He hasn't said anything.
Yeah, wait.
There's more. Yeah, we got a lot more. We work around the clock.
I'm like, wait, you're talking about the other part. Like, stop talking.
She's like, shh, quit talking.
No.
I mean, we'll talk about that part later.
It's not a secret. We're working on that.
Yeah. We have more. We have more coming. We're not sure what it is.
This experience, somebody just said it online the other day. It opened a new can of worms, and we gotta settle the war. We gotta literally it's just. It brought a new light in a different perspective of things, and we're starting to research that, and it's just fascinating. It's fascinating, and it's hopefully we can share that with everyone soon.
No, we're excited. We got more projects coming, and
because we're it's also our journey, our personal journey. We're learning as we go too,
right? That's what I love about that.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be great. I was hoping there was going to be a second part because I know there was second part to The House in Between, which I know for a fact because stuff is still being recorded.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. Yeah. Watch the films. They help us make more.
Oh,
Wow,
I will
perfect
watch
homes.
that on repeat.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
yeah.
I have my cat, my dog. I don't even have a cat and dog, but I have them watching
Oh,
it.
thank you. No, I appreciate it. Yeah,
Amazing.
no, every watch helps us. I mean, we're just a small operation over here, so any support we all obviously appreciate. So thank you. The paranormal community. The paranormal community has been so good to us with their movies and posting and sharing, and it's just awesome.
We feel like we're doing this with everyone. Because
Yeah,
every time after our films, like, I mean, we love, it's like an adventure, and we love sharing this with everyone.
Yeah.
And then we also
I can't wait to share. I'm like,
I love I love the email. Yeah. He's like, come on, Vera.
I feel bad. I'm burning out. Like,
No.
He puts me through a lot. But it's been great though. It's been great. Yeah, it's been a great ride. But anyway, like, I love the collaboration, and we're getting a lot of emails recently from people. It's just fascinating.
Yeah.
People, a lot of
No,
psychics
it's cool.
sometimes do the readings on the film, and then they give us their input. And a lot of times we're noticing a pattern, like emails of people that don't know each other. They're telling us the same thing, and we're like, look, there's a pattern here, which is really fascinating. That saying
I love getting people's like input on what they think it is.
Yeah, email us if you any insight,
especially like those lights and stuff.
Instead of Brad, because I email Brad way too much. Poor guy.
Aw.
No, it's always I love feedback.
We're still, sometimes people like mention one thing, and then we'll go and research it, and then we'll take down a whole rabbit hole. We'll spend a whole day on like researching like what is, because we want to find out just as much as you guys do, and we're always researching. I mean, it's just part of the game here. And if we can figure out what these lights are and what this intelligent interaction with them, I think that would be a really cool thing to experience. I hope people can experience them. I don't know, have you experienced lights like what we did at the Haunted Lodge?
Not like that. The only lights I've experienced, which I think of them as fairies, are fairy lights, little itty bitty lights, blue, green, pink. But I've never experienced anything like y'all's lights. Like, y'all have huge bowl of lights, like big lights, and their interactions, and they, y'all tell them, could you blink 3 times, and they do, and it's just like, wow, like not even I can explain that. And I've been paranormal investigating for so many years, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know. Like,
that was mind blowing. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah, we definitely need to. The first film we got Dr. Dye, who was a light specialist. It'd be cool to go back around and talk to some of these scientists again with this new evidence that we have.
That's not a bad idea.
It's fascinating. I think that's a good way to, for an investigator is, get outside sources to look at it, people outside the paranormal even, to look at stuff. I know we have a close knit circle of people that we trust, and we'll send, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And sometimes they're like, oh yeah, that's caused from this or whatever.
Yeah, I was thinking about the lights, because I saw the light at Alice's house, and then I saw the light in the Conjuring house in the wood. That was really bright. It was more intense blue. The ones in Georgia were like Sydney just described, like tiny little like speckles of light that were like blue and red, orangey.
I saw I saw the big one.
The big one
was orange.
And it was right after Jill was like, get ready for the show or whatever. She was saying, get ready for
dude, that was crazy.
Whatever. And then I just got distracted. I was talking to her, and then whoa, and describe what you saw.
The fireball?
The big one.
The big one. Yeah. It was like about 1.5 feet in diameter, and it came so fast and just went, like, it just zipped by me.
Not quite in front of you, right?
It was probably like 5 feet out a little bit, but I tracked the thing, I saw it, and then it just disappeared.
Wow.
But it was so
That's kind of cool.
dang cool.
Man.
The only
I
way I can think of it is like it wasn't like as bright as fire, but
Mm-hmm.
it was like I
saw it in the camera.
You know when like a flashlight is like kind of like hit, like it's like going through like a window or something. It's very light, like the light on a wall or something. You know, it's like a light, a very light, kind of
Like
translucent
kinda,
light.
like
It was
dark orange kind of.
yeah, it was orange, but yeah, and it was a ball of light, but it was very faint, but it had like a very distinctive ball shape to it. Like you could see.
Wow.
It wasn't translucent, no, but it was like if it was very dim and just kind of like
the other lights were dim. That's
just so dim and
Yeah.
so,
but yet
it had shape. I don't know how like.
But the EMCCD camera, like it was like.
Well, because
like,
the EMCCD camera sensor is super sensitive. It's like a starlight technology.
Everything just like.
So on the like what you saw on that EMCCD camera was amplified by like 100%. But the ball itself was very dim, but you could see it. Like I could see it like far, like 30 feet out coming toward me. And then it just went boom, like right past me, very fast. It was like a flyby. That's what it felt like. It felt like you know how someone buzzes the tower of like the like an airline tower or something.
Yeah.
It felt like that. It felt like someone went boom right past me.
So did the atmosphere around you guys change? Like, did the wind pick up? Like, did anything did it seem darker outside, or like did anything else change around you guys?
Clear night.
It was cold.
It was getting cold. I didn't feel any kind of, but I was so like adrenaline excited that like I think I hindered all
night.
I did see the lights as well with my eyes, and they were orange and blue and white and red. I saw them very faint, very, very, very faint.
So I saw the little ones, like the faint ones.
Yeah.
But I'm almost like I was like my eyes playing tricks. But then when Jill did her thing, and then the camera captured, I was sold. I was like, okay, this is happening. But then also when we interviewed the historian, he said he's seen them and he described them as like tiny little LED Christmas lights that like balls.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it was exactly it. That's exactly he described them perfectly.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, like a very
without him knowing
bulb.
We had experienced that. That was to us more comfortable.
It was like sparks. But anyway, it kind of looked like sparks.
Okay.
Like these, like
It was such a wild experience. Like it's been a while. We still talk about it like it just happened yesterday.
It was so
profound.
It was so profound. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw me when I came in. I was like, "Did you get it on the camera? Did you get it on the camera?"
Yeah.
That was intense. That, and then like when y'all were inside and y'all were sitting on the couch, and Jill and you saw someone walking on the patio or the deck or whatever.
Oh, we heard somebody. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. The footsteps, which was
when
the footsteps on the outside deck.
Jill wasn't there.
Outside deck.
In the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. With
Did you say
John.
Jill or John?
John. Or
John.
Yeah,
Yes.
No. Yeah, John.
Oh, I thought you said Jill. Oh, okay, sorry. No, yes.
Yeah, those footsteps were profound. That was so cool.
I'll never forget that because my heart was just like I started sweating.
We got that on multiple cameras too. That was cool.
I was so in disbelief because it was so loud, and I thought for sure somebody is doing it.
Somebody's out there. Yeah, that was.
It was cool because
that was cool because it was a claim. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I stole it. The word.
Have y'all gone back since then?
No, we haven't. No.
We missed it.
I
mean, it's an operating business.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, we go back in a heartbeat. Yeah, that place is very, very unique, to say the least. And Pinky makes the best fried chicken you ever had. She's the cook there. Like cooked for us a couple of times. Dan
for the hunters.
she cooks for the hunters, and Dan had her cook for us, and oh
That
my
was
god,
so kind of them.
it was really
I'm
awesome.
telling you,
Yeah,
guys, like that's how to tell them.
Yeah.
Like it was, oh my god,
yeah, it was awesome.
sweet tea, like the
Nice.
she even made pie, like cheesecake or something. Like,
Oh my god, yeah,
now you're making me
pie,
hungry.
yeah.
Sorry.
So Joanne wanted me to ask you guys, what was with the little boy at the end of the movie?
Boy,
I think that's what she said. She said the little boy at the end.
Hold on. Tell me again.
Is it the
Hold on. Tell me. And the hunting
the
lodge?
haunting lodge?
I think so.
Okay,
she
she's
said-
psychic.
She said, explain the ending, the boy. That's what she says.
She's talking about the little
Did
figure.
I
that
can't
she-
remember the boy.
the figure.
Let me see if I
Can you
can
tell me more?
if I can reach
Let's
out to her real quick.
The boy at the end. She thinks. She thinks
That's
it's a-
interesting. Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. I leave that little boy story in the. That's an interesting.
Yeah,
thing
that's
because. I can't
just-
remember if I.
I just texted her, so let's see what she says.
Yeah,
Oh, she's
yeah.
texting me back right now. So I will.
The haunting
Okay.
lodge. It's for the haunting lodge, right?
She
Yeah,
said,
okay,
yeah,
let's
on the haunting lodge. She said the boy
Okay,
at the
yeah.
end.
Yeah, that's. We're not sure because it's so.
Nobody ever asked anything about that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to talk about everything, but
The-
that figure.
The figure, yeah, the
She's
one
looking at
that
the
Jill
figure.
saw, and it went in the room, and then we caught on the cameras
At the
outside.
end.
Yeah,
At the
She
end.
said,
Is that-
remember
I
the
believe
boy
that's what-
apparition outside at the
Yeah.
end?
So does she thinks it's a boy?
She thinks it's a boy.
Is she a psychic?
I just met Joanne, so I'm not sure.
So she's we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what
We
that.
don't
We don't know what
know.
that is. I mean,
It's just happened.
Yeah. we'll
Who did it say
we'll
it was
take.
a boy? But now that I'm thinking, when the way she
That's
said
a very
boy,
good point. I never.
during the reading,
Yeah.
Jill did pick up on a little.
It's something short and small, as you could see from the height on the door. So you got a height reference. But yeah, it's. I don't know. That could be. I mean, it's something. It's
She
some
said-
kind of.
I said, hey, are you a psychic? She goes, oh, I said, they want to know. She goes, oh, no shit. She goes, nope, I'm just an old lady.
Oh, no, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean,
Nobody
it very
does
well
the
could
first-
be a boy. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
It just
I don't
was
have that
interesting
answer,
because
yeah.
Jill said she saw something short, little, moving to the room.
yeah,
And then we captured little camera. We
Yeah.
saw that little.
we
thing also
outlined
coming
it
down,
to kind of show what we saw.
Yeah.
See,
You
I
know,
thought it
in
was
the-
a
in the
kid
deep
too
footage.
when I watched it.
Oh, really?
But I didn't pick up a gender or anything because, like, I was just like kind
Yeah.
of watching it. I didn't want to in tune to it, but I was like, I think that's a kid. Like to me, I just thought a kid. But now I want to go back and watch it and try
Yeah,
to figure
no,
it out.
it's short, so I mean,
Oh, well, she
it could
said,
be. It could be.
when she drew the being, the tall one and the little one, she drew a little one.
Right. She did.
She
draw
said there
a little
were
one. She called them the
scouts.
little ones.
They call them scouts.
Scouts, yeah.
She said there's scouts or little ones that are like about 3 to 4 feet tall, and they come and like check things out. And then there's the big ones that are like 7 foot tall.
Yeah,
and
which
they
looked
stay
like
more like
Chewbacca.
and they're going more like in the background.
But now
And, but and it's weird that she said a boy because Jill did mention. Now I'm like, did we miss something? Because
Yeah,
Jill mentioned that there had been a little boy showed up who
right.
had drowned, and then which is the late historical place, and they said the river. Their parents put their fear of God, and then you
little
never
kids.
go in the
And-
river because they had so
and-
many
Yeah,
drownings.
and also the history was
Oh, the
Yeah.
historians, they
at the
said
end
the
of the
little
history. Oh my
kids
gosh.
that were lost.
Yeah.
That's-
That's why, like, we
There's no way
we
for
put
us
the
to
footage
really-
forward, and it's like,
You
you
figure it
know,
out.
it's like that's. I mean, it's short, so yeah, it very well could be a young child. It also, we never saw signs of that unmarked grave that we saw. You did
Right.
say, hey, you can.
How can we prove
So,
what it is?
I mean,
ever if,
that's the
without
thing,
evidence,
like,
you know? Because
I don't have like, we don't have anything that definitively says, hey, yeah, this is.
But it could be.
But very well could be a
have been
small
this-
child, you know.
Yeah. That's interesting. Now we're all thinking. Now we're all like,
Yeah, because I was like,
y'all are doing a good
Yeah,
job of
because-
making us think.
well, good.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't put the two and two together of that because it was otherworldly. We just stayed with that.
Yeah,
and
we
it was
we're
otherworldly,
thinking that it
but-
was like something
because she did sense other spirits, but it was so muddy and it became so
intertwined, layered.
the audience would have been so confused with like some of the like your senses sometimes just like has things pop, you know, like a spirit or this other spirit, and there was only like two, I think, that they were not related to anything, the case, the people, or anything. So we were like, well,
like,
yes, they're
like,
passing by. One of them was residual, and she said it was this father who was looking for his son who drowned in the river, and then he told us the name and everything.
Yeah.
She gave us so much detail. Wow. But it's like, it would have been weird if out of nowhere we're just, not caught into this scene of a completely new, different story that is random. We have a lot of that happen in documentaries. Random little things that pop that.
That's why part 2 kind of happened on House in Between, because we had a lot of that stuff. And then we actually get people that text us or email us after the movie comes out. And then we start like searching. We're like, oh, wow, this is like a possibility. Or they see the film and they're like, oh, I have a story actually.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of, these things, that's why we're kind of, in for the long haul on them, because stuff pops.
Sometimes also like it's something delicate, like sometimes things about family members come up like we can't talk about.
It's true.
Private things, like we can't put on camera. So
like Donna here,
Oh.
she's on my team. She's part of the Wraith Hunters. She's one of the other psychics, and she said she was talking about it.
Because tell her to tap on the name. That would be interesting. Jill told us the name if she
she gets it. Yeah. No, it's cool. Like it's yeah.
We just didn't even
think about it. Yeah. And
that's what's hard about investigating, because you do have limited time at the place.
Is there a way to like do a
just do like deleted scenes?
That that was a deleted scene. It was a reading regarding
we need to
this little boy, and when she said what about the little boy, it immediately triggered that memory.
Well, plus all the history. I mean, the history alone we left it on.
No, this was very specific.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of
very specific. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
because she didn't go into it. It was something that kind of like passed by, and she just kind of picked up on it. It was related to the house, and we were there to solve the case on the house.
Yeah,
that's why. But maybe we should do something
deleted scenes or something. That's a good idea.
Let me know if she gets a name. It would be really interesting.
I will.
Yeah.
That's like me with Brad. When the first movie came out of The House in Between, I started saying, oh, I think it has something to do with the land, and I keep seeing something about it like a man, and I was just like telling him little bits and pieces, and then part 2 came out, and I said, see, I told you. And he was just laughing at me, and I was like, man, I said, this is why like I love the way y'all film things, because y'all guys leave us questioning things and thinking things and figuring it out, and then when y'all release the second part, we're like, dang, like that's crazy. I was right.
Oh yeah. I like I said, that's my favorite part too, when we get like feedback from people in the audience that are watching films and tell us like this and that, and then we see a pattern sometimes when people don't even know each other and they're telling us
we've seen like emails the same thing. They're like, I'm tapping into this or that, and we're like, whoa, this person said over here,
And sometimes they kind of guide us. I mean, I can say this, and part one has in between. We got a lot of feedback, people saying that they feel like something was buried. A lot of people. It's like, I'm not gonna say a lot of that also led to the fact that, you know, we kind of like knew that the abandoned cemetery rather was moved, but what if there was something left behind or something? That's one of the things that led us to go and maybe we should dig.
Yeah.
And y'all did an awesome job with that. Yeah.
And I mean, that's a great case. It's an annoying case.
Yeah.
It's not a closed case. That the house in between that house in Mississippi it's an ongoing case for sure.
Digging was like kind of last minute as well.
They all are.
Right. Yeah, like we were kind of like, well, I guess we should dig. All signs are pointing to it, and then I think you got on the phone and found a backhoe. Right? We called a few places. Yeah. We had to get it quick. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
And then the guy's like, "Well, here you go." And we're like, "Doesn't it come with an operator?"
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Well, that's like, I could probably do it for like a few hours, but I got to go." And I was like,
"You're like, all right,
I think I can figure this out." So he showed me.
That was funny.
And I like learned on camera there. So hopefully I didn't destroy Alice's yard there.
No, stop.
She would have been messaging you, "Come fix my yard. There's potholes everywhere."
Fixed.
No, at the end I was like, I was cruising that thing around doing it was I had fun doing that.
That's awesome.
Wow. Cool. What an adventure.
Yeah. It's we go into these things, you never know what's gonna happen. And I think that's the best part, is just kind of being prepared for anything that could happen, and then you're able to follow it,
Yeah. Kind of, we've talked about everything. So out of all three places, where's your favorite place that you would go to in a heartbeat? Like right now you would drop everything and go to?
That's a really hard question.
We don't have favorites. We only have experiences.
I like that. Okay, well, out of all your experiences, which one would you want to continue experiencing and get more? Like, which one do you feel like you have not finished, and you know for a fact?
All of them.
All of them.
There's more work to be done.
There is.
Again, because they're an ongoing cases. It's not something. It's not like we went to a house where something happened in the past. These are houses where there are stuff happening in the present. Mm-hmm. It's ongoing.
Yeah.
There is continually having stuff happen to them. So that's a really good question. It's not like we went to cover a tragic experience or the experience of a family who had like a lot of stories that are like, this is a haunted house and this family experienced all this. Like the Conjuring, that was like something that happened in the past, and then they just kind of picked the story up. And we went there with the eyes set on the present, like what's happening right now. And all of them are kind
each of them are totally unique
and
in
they're different,
their own way. Alice's house is a brand new house built in the 90s, and the Conjuring home is, super historic and very old. So it's like they're so just kind of all over the place. It's hard to even say which ones. They're all awesome. I mean, everywhere we've been, we feel like we've experienced really unique.
If I had to pick something, I think the Conjuring house feels more unfinished because of the size of the land, like in the backyard, the woods.
We scratched the surface on the backyard.
I feel like there's more there that needs to be told.
Yeah.
We didn't. Nobody really does. Everybody just focuses on the house so much.
Yeah.
There's definitely more.
Yeah.
But also, Georgia, I feel like there's also more just because it seems like the town. Yes. All of
ours have tons of surprises.
All of them. Yeah. It's a lot of work, y'all. It's a lot of work. That's why I admire a lot of people. I mean, I know that sometimes we're looked down upon, for what we do and stuff, especially sometimes family members.
The paranormal investigator. Oh, that wacky person.
But it's like, it's true love, true passion. You're really out there trying to figure things out and asking the right questions, just learning as you go.
Yeah, learning. Yeah, I mean, when you get that one piece of evidence on camera and it's documented perfectly.
I mean, that feeling you can. That feeling when you finally get that piece of evidence.
That's what it's all about, right there.
Yeah.
Because if you document it, it's only a ghost story.
Yeah.
It's not on camera or audio or somewhere.
And also being able to share that with the people that are interested in this, being able to share that.
Like, I feel like there was more stuff in the barn that y'all guys didn't really uncover that y'all guys could have gotten.
Probably.
Yeah, it was cold. It was freezing.
Well, it's snowing when y'all reported it, right?
Yeah. It was on and off. It was like one day it was snowing, the next day it was like the snow had melted and it was cold.
You told me that dry weather.
Like, it was wild. Yeah.
But that night was
that night was really cold. Yeah.
And I know.
But yeah, we should have done the barn a lot more. I felt like we were kind of, even though we were there for 2 weeks, we were still trimmed low on time, because even like the upstairs and the attic, like I wish I could have gone in the attic even more, that little crawl space that we found, that was, we could have spent days up there, but
you see, now I'm being called to the woods, like in the back. I feel like
wow.
Georgia, I would like to go into the woods. I actually was going to camp out way back in the woods, and I kind of chickened out a little bit. I'm a little mad at myself. I was gonna do it by myself, and I was like, I better not do that. Just because there's, knows what's out there.
Bigfoot, Sasquatch.
It is, yeah. There's
just take beef jerky with you. You should be fine.
Yeah. But no, I mean, in Alice's house, like, we got that was the first time we went in her club over there, and sure enough, like some of the greatest EVPs happening there. So it's interesting. Like it's like, I'd love to visit Alice's backyard a little more. And even like around the area, like I'd like to go in the far back. There's like another yard back there that like has like,
the trees are beautiful.
Yeah, there's like trees. And I don't feel like we visited that back there too much. So
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot more to do for sure.
I mean, there's a reason why they spent 10 years. I mean, it's just it's an ongoing investigation. Yeah, if anybody here knows of a ongoing present case or something that think they want to shine the light on and anything that we might be interested, just hit us up. Let us know.
Fascinated with.
Ken Welpton, roboninja.com. Check his email more than I do, but you will. I'm busy. But no, yes. I'm really. We get locations all the time. We even started getting locations overseas that we so wish. We
we're working on trying to get there.
Which is. I hope we can make it work out. Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff going on out there. It's interesting to hear all these stories for over about 20 years now, hearing a lot of these people's experiences, and some have had like don't even know each other, and they say some of the same exact things that have happened to them. So like there's things that are happening to multiple people that are very similar,
What are you talking about? Like
just like people's ghost stories over time. I've done this for 20 years, and I've been on the road doing ghost hunting shows, and people want to tell. They don't feel comfortable talking about this stuff, number one, and when they do find someone they feel comfortable talking about, they want to tell you their story. So I'm lucky enough to be able to have heard hundreds of stories, and I've found that a lot of these stories have similarities inside them, and these people don't even know each other at all. So I think there's a lot to this that we're uncovering. And it's only, the greatest discovery could be made by you or somebody that just happened to document something super fascinating. So it's cool putting yourself out there,
Yep. That would be awesome. I can't wait to see what else y'all guys got in store. And hopefully there's a House of Between 3 and a Hunting Lodge 2 and a Sleepless Unrest 2 and whatever else y'all have secret.
Yeah, we'll start announcing some stuff here pretty soon. So
let everyone know where they can catch your awesome videos and your awesome documentaries and all that stuff.
Yeah, the best way to find our movies are on robotninjamedia.com, and all our movies are up there. Our films are all on Tubi right now. They're on, some of them are on YouTube, some of them are on, or all of them are on Amazon. You can find them on Amazon Prime. But yeah, just go to the website, robotninjamedia.com, and we have every movie we've done and where they're at to watch for your platforms.
And let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think. Yeah,
if you have any feedback.
We're on Facebook. Yeah, we're on all the social media platforms. So I love seeing the private messages or the just what you think. Even if you hate the film, we learn from people what we could do better. So so yeah, any kind of
tell us privately. Don't put it on Amazon.
Yeah, don't write a bad review for us. Please review us. Yeah, put a good review out there. Yeah. I mean, geez. Okay, let's talk about that, because there's a lot of people out there that are not watching the film, and I don't know what this world's about. They write these reviews and they've never seen the film. It's it's crazy. It's nuts. People have fun going and trolling movies and tanking them.
Oh,
it's sad.
How dare they?
Oh. Yeah.
They're missing awesome pieces of evidence here, man.
I don't think they watch Paranormal or even watch, they don't even care. They just go and write bad reviews on movies. It's so weird.
We'll start an angry mob troll with pitchforks and torches.
Aw. No,
we got a lot of good feedback too. Yeah. And I usually your good feedback comes in personal, private messages. Yeah. That's why I was saying, if you like it, go. Yeah. You can help us and put it in Amazon too.
Well, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to come talk to me about what y'all been up to and all y'all's awesome experiences with all these different documentaries. I really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Anytime.
Yeah. It was fun. Thank you.
Keep us posted too on your adventures.
Yeah.
Oh, I will. It's going to get crazy, I'm sure. Especially with Anthony taking your advice, Kendall, of leaving me in the darkness. So that's going to be
fun. It will be fun. Yeah. And congratulations on everything. And it's great to see you doing so well.
It's great to see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And y'all have a good night.
Thanks. You too. Appreciate it. Thank you.